So our primary presentation tonight will be by our guest, Daniel Neufeld, returning home to Share Me after many years. It's good to have you back with your family in conversation with Paula Chevelle. But before we do so, I want to invite Sarah Sharma, who's also the co-chair or on the Inclusion Committee, to come on up and to share a few words and remarks. And thank you again, Bob, for organizing this so nicely.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to Rabbi Briskin, the Board of Directors, and Bob Churkin for letting me represent the DEI Committee on this inspiring night and for their leadership and inclusion programming. You may remember me from last year's Judaim service where you learned about my cousin David's inclusive bar mitzvah. I'm pleased to be here again for our special presentation tonight. The DEI Committee is striving to make Share Me an inclusive congregation for all. We are proud of our work in 2023, including a grant proposal and board support for a sensory room. I would like to invite you to stay for our oneg, which will be having baked goods from Bakeability, perfectly complementing tonight's theme. We are beginning to plan our Pride celebration in late spring. Please stay tuned for more information. I'm going to turn our program over to Paula Chevelle. Paula is a longtime supporter of inclusion at Share Me as co-creator of the Simcha program that supported families that included children with disabilities. In addition, Paula recently retired after 22 years in her position as the resource teacher at our Early Learning Center, where she supported the children, families, and staff.
I got to turn hers on.
Make sure that one's on too.
Perfect. Great, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Shabbat Shalom. I'm very happy to welcome back to Share Me my good friend Daniel Neufeld and have the opportunity for him to share his story with you tonight. I think that we can all agree that these have been some very dark times for all of us. I wanted this Inclusion Shabbat to be about light and about joy, and that's Daniel. Every time that I see him or I talk to him, I'm reminded how very truly remarkable and inspiring that Daniel is. He doesn't even know it. During COVID quarantine, when many of us were suddenly feeling very isolated, Daniel was a champion people connector. He set up frequent Zoom parties and would send invitation to his many friends. When I joined, sometimes I'd be surprised to catch up with old Share Me friends that I hadn't seen for a long time, and many times I'd meet new friends of Daniel's that I didn't have a chance to chat with before. He was an excellent host, brought up interesting connecting topics and questions, and we were all a little less alone. We only have time to share the highlights of his journey tonight, so we'll get started. Welcome, Daniel.
Toda, Paula. It is an honor to be here before you all.
Let's start easy and share a little bit about your roots. What high school did you attend, and when did you graduate?
I went to Council Rock High School South from 2001 through 2004. Graduated as a nominated winner of the Art Excellence Award.
What other school did you attend?
Also the Middle Bucks Institute of Technology. I was in their culinary arts program.
And what school did you attend after graduation?
Bucks County Community College. My major there was in fine arts.
Can you share some memories of growing up in Holland, Bucks County?
Oh, I remember a lot of things growing up on Amsterdam Avenue in Holland. My family and I had a couple of pets, a dog and a guinea pig. We had a basketball net on our driveway, an in-ground pool, and a couple of apple and pear trees in our backyard, and a basement where we had set up a couple of workshop tables, a ping pong table, and a model train layout.
Sounds like a really good childhood.
Yes.
What did you enjoy about attending religious school at Share Me?
What I enjoyed? Learning to say a lot in Hebrew and preparing for my bar mitzvah.
And did you feel included in your classes and in social activities?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did. All I had to do was just take a few deep breaths and put myself in their shoes.
We first met when we were both participating in the Simca support group here at Shira Me, and then we soon learned that you went to school with my daughters. What do you remember enjoying about Simca, which stood for Special Individuals Meeting Challenges with Heartwarming Activities?
What I enjoyed about Simca is getting to meet and know a lot of people among my age. I remember a lot of group activities that we did together. I remember attending a couple of dancing and karate lessons, as well as summer trips to places such as Trenton Thunder baseball games, aquariums, and amusement parks.
And I'm really glad that you had a chance to connect with some of our old Simca friends here tonight. What importance did becoming a bar mitzvah on this bima have on your life?
Learning how to handle all kinds of hefty responsibilities from every family member before myself.
And I'd like to talk about your longtime participation in Bucks County Special Olympics. How did it feel to be a part of this very special program?
It felt absolutely wonderful. Although Special Olympics was not my very first original choice when wanting to try out for sport teams as a little boy. Originally, I wanted to go for varsity baseball and basketball teams like my older brother Jason and a few friends of mine and his did. However, my parents had concerns that they noticed that a few coaches on a few of these teams and divisions, they weren't always that reasonable, and they even remembered that approximately half the time in a few of Jason's baseball games, he didn't always get to be on the field as well as sitting on a bench and batting. And my parents, they didn't want me to go through moments like that.
So did you feel that it was a good experience for you?
Absolutely. And Jason is the one in my family
Jason?
when I got talent in baseball.
Oh.
Now I play on teams part of the Philadelphia Sport Leagues. Since 2017, I've done
Oh, that's great.
softball, basketball, and kickball.
And what do you think you learned from participating in the different sports in Special Olympics that helped you in your life?
Being exactly what any sport team and division should always have, a very flexible team player.
Excellent. So now let's talk about the importance of music in your life. Who are your music heroes?
A whole lot of them, from Billy Joel, the Beach Boys, the Beatles, and Bruce Springsteen, to Neil Diamond, Kelly Clarkson, Taylor Swift, and world-famous cellist Yo-Yo Ma.
I've enjoyed hearing you play the cello at Council Rock music events over the years. When did you start learning to play?
I started playing the cello when I was 11 years old. My Uncle Mark, from my father's side of the family who lives in Roxborough, was a cellist.
And how did you choose the cello?
By learning how he did it and how to play it, how to apply the bow on the strings.
And how does playing music make you feel?
A good way to express any kind of feeling, anything on your mind, through song.
Excellent. How did you become interested in being an artist?
My mother is an art teacher who taught art at Benjamin Rush Middle School, then New Hope Soberry, until her retirement in 2014. She still teaches art to other people.
And what mediums do you work in?
I do a lot of mediums: pencils, pastels, charcoals, watercolors, pen and ink, acrylic, and oil.
And I know your mom, Joanne, here with us tonight, is also a very talented artist. Tell us about traveling the world with your family and creating art with your mom as you travel.
Whenever we would take a vacation to any place in the world, my mother and I would have our art supplies in our backpacks. We would find a place to draw and paint, while my father and other family members would do other kinds of fun activities.
And how do you find your inspiration?
By trying to find something that extraordinary that you don't always get to see every day.
With all the other commitments and interests filling your life, I was really happily surprised when you started to send me amazing videos of your travels, all edited with music. They always make me want to travel wherever you've been. How did you get started doing this, and how hard was this to learn?
It wasn't that hard for me to learn. In 2008, my mother first showed me the iMovie app, and my first ever video was more like a slideshow of still pictures of a few basketball teammates of mine. I turned out to be a fast learner at that.
I think you're a fast learner at everything. Where will you travel to next?
My parents and I will be taking our next vacation in Ireland in mid-April.
And what do you hope to do in Ireland?
to do exactly what we've always done on our many travels. In my case and my mother's, it's another vacation, another art series.
So moving to the next chapter of your life, what made your family decide to move to Center City, Philadelphia when you turned 30?
It was on good terms. I wanted more city life. But before that, I always wanted to learn how to drive, maybe go for a driver's permit then license. Although I have studied my hardest for the driver's manual, I somehow failed the driver's test like once or twice, and whenever another chance came, when I would study, I would somehow get busy with something else instead. I also realized that I can actually get scared when getting behind a steering wheel of a car because I'm always seeing, hearing, and reading about too many car crashes in the news, which concerns me for my own safety as it would concern my own folks.
Do you feel more independent in the city?
Yep, I get around on foot, on my bike, and by public transportation.
And as a Bucks County boy, what was the biggest challenge in getting used to apartment and city life?
Keeping track of my own budget, paying for my monthly bills. And I also have a beautiful scenic view of the city facing north from my own studio apartment that I've had since August 2019.
And what do you think helped you settle into city life?
After thinking about so many friends of mine who I grew up around, middle school, high school, and college, I thought, why not do exactly what they've done in life and career?
And I know that you've had several jobs preparing you for your current long-term position. How about telling everybody about where you work now and your job responsibilities?
I now work as a clerical assistant at Philadelphia City Hall. I scan, file, and check paperwork, court documents, and return mail. I would answer phone calls and take messages. And I've been working at City Hall for exactly 5 years this winter.
I think you got an award for that, right? I
Yes.
saw a picture online of that.
Yes, you did.
And how do you like your job?
Every part of it. Now, I didn't major or minor in criminal justice in college as I did in the arts, but I am a big believer in the justice system and the law at heart.
And I know that now you're settled into your own studio apartment in the same building with your parents. So what do you like best about living on your own for the first time?
It feels wonderful.
Does it? Mm-hmm. You're able to make your own schedule?
Yep.
Turn on the lights whenever you want?
Turn on the lights whenever I want, yes.
Eat whenever you want?
Yes.
That's right.
Not be a slave to the time.
So how do you stay connected to your Jewish roots?
By making more and more social connections in different places in the city's limits, as I did around here. There's the Spruce Street Minyan, Tribe 12, the Mikveh Israel Congregation, the Society Hill Synagogue, and Rodef Shalom, where my mother's parents got married in 1951.
That's an amazing connection. And how do you celebrate Shabbat?
I would always meet up with my folks at their apartment. We would take turns cooking for each other. I got my skills in cooking from my father, who used to work as a broker, Main Street Gourmet, then Atlantic Beverage, until his retirement in 2017.
And what kind of things do you like to cook?
Anything from a salad and black bean soup to a salmon, a chicken, and whenever a family member or friend of mine has a birthday and I'm invited and able to spend time with them celebration-wise, I would make the time to bake and decorate a cake for them.
I saw an amazing cake that you baked and decorated for your mom last week. That cake was gorgeous. Was it delicious?
Yes, it was.
Delicious? It looked it. So I love the quote from your grandfather that you recently shared with me. Can we share that tonight?
Of course. When I was a young boy, my mother's father always told us that you should always make memories and history out of any kind of occasion in any way possible. Photographs, film, etc.
Daniel, I think that through your art and music, your videography, your travels, your enthusiasm for new adventures, you truly honor his memory and make your entire family proud. What might be in the future for Daniel Neufeld?
Right now, I have my mind on 4 things in life and career. Number 1, host my very own film festival, showing crowds a lineup of only the very best videos that I've made over the years. Number 2, join a performing arts group that's closest and most convenient to me of people among my age from both my singing and my cello playing. Number 3, write and get my own books published, my own drawn and written comic books, an autobiography, maybe even a novel or 2.
I like that.
And number 4, on top of that, I really do hope to be where most friends of mine have been in most recent years, settling down, getting engaged, then married with children.
I have no doubt that you are going to fulfill a lifetime of special goals, Daniel. Thank you for bringing some of your special pieces of your original artwork with you tonight. Let's see what you've brought.
All right. You want me to get up as well? Okay.
Let's start with this one. Love this one. So tell us about this.
That painting is from a photo I took close up of a couple of birds of paradise flowers at the top of a palm tree from a backyard pool in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, close to Delray Beach, a development called Addison Reserves.
And what medium?
Water-based oil paints on canvas. I had to mix like 5 different values of green and blue to really make it stand out. Instead of making it pop, really make it bloom.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that before. Okay. I love this one too. Tell us about this.
I have loved trains since my childhood, and this piece here is a diesel locomotive that I saw hauling a double-decker passenger train going northbound along the Pacific coast during a stay of mine along with my family in Newport Beach, California in December of 2015.
And what memory does this bring back for you?
From what I saw with my own eyes, I just had to snap it quickly with my camera, and the medium that you see applied on that surface is gouache paint on gesso board.
Amazing. Move over to the other side. Hang on. I'll start up here. Love the feeling of this one. Love it. Tell us about this.
That is a panoramic piece I did from a photo I took right before a heavy thunderstorm came pouring down on me and my family in Skaneateles, New York in July of 2017. I call it Incoming Storm. Probably one of the most dramatic pieces I've ever done, considering the darks and lights that you see in the picture plane.
And what memory does this bring back for you?
Oh my God. Comes back to me like lightning.
You've been working on some of this. You're ready for me. Okay.
And that one is from a photograph that I took during a stay of mine in June 2018. My parents and I were in Chicago. I titled this particular piece, My Kind of Town, as in the Frank Sinatra song.
Daniel also did amazing video of their vacation. I wanted to get on the plane like immediately. It was fabulous. And I think Frank Sinatra was in your video.
Yes, you're right on about that.
Definitely. So can you introduce the piece that you're going to play on the cello tonight for us?
The piece of music that I'm going to be playing tonight on my cello is a classical one called Jerusalem, composed by a Hubert Parry.
I'll move this and you get your cello and bring that over. Oops, sorry. Okay. Move this up. Thanks. And just watch the wires coming back. I not promise you a light? Beautiful, just beautiful.
Thank you.
Daniel, thank you so much for returning to your Share Me roots tonight and for this special Shabbat and for sharing your story and talents with all of us. On behalf of Share Me and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, it's my pleasure to present you with this gift to help you to continue to pursue your talents and your goals. I want to recognize your parents, Joanne and Ken, for their amazing insight in guiding you toward a fully inclusive life. And we're also so happy to have your grandmother Trudy with us here tonight. We know your family is very proud. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Fabulous, fabulous.